It's fine. Yep.
One of these. Watch the video. Not just rain, but wind, lightning, thunder. It's a thunderstorm. These are exciting, maybe even a little scary, right? Now imagine flying on an airplane during a with lightning out the window, the plane is shaking. Now, luckily, this rarely happens, and that's because pilots do everything they can to avoid thunderstorms. They've got a good lookout from up there. They can spot bad weather up ahead, so if the storm cloud is in the way, it's usually possible to fly around it, or sometimes even flying higher, flying over it. That is precisely what this guy tried to do on July 26, 1959. His name was Lieutenant Colonel William Rankin. And what I'm about to tell you is a completely true story. William Rankin was flying from Massachusetts to South Carolina, USA. He'd been told to expect thunderstorms. But this was a jet fighter plane capable of flying higher than any ordinary plane. So he figured that if he did run into a bad thunderstorm, no problem, he could just fly over it. Just a few minutes before he was about to reach his destination, he saw this huge, puffy cloud in front of him. He'd seen clouds like this many times before. Now, to someone who didn't know better, you might even think the cloud looked inviting and friendly. But William Rankin knew that its looks are deceiving. This was no friendly cloud. It was a very certain type, and he knew this was a kind of storm cloud that he should avoid at all costs. It was enormous, extending nearly 9 miles up into the sky. This cloud was taller than the tallest mountain on Earth. Still, he figured he could fly over it, which should have been fine, unless something really terrible happened, like his engine stalled and the plane stopped flying or something. And that's exactly what happened. Well, directly over the top of this cloud, he heard a loud bump and a rumble from the engine. The engine had stopped. A warning light was flashing. Okay, stay calm, he thought. He practiced for this kind of problem. All he had to do was pull a lever, and then the backup engine would come on. But as he pulled it, crack, the lever broke off in his hand. There was no backup power. He was going to have to eject or parachute out of his plane and let the plane crash. He jumped from the plane, falling out of the sky, but as if things couldn't get any worse, he looked down and saw that he was still right over the top of the cloud. William Rankin was about to become the first human being ever to fall through a storm cloud with nothing to protect him. As he entered the cloud, his skin turned red and frostbitten from the severe cold. High above the earth, temperatures are incredibly cold, minus 58 degrees. That's as cold as winter in Antarctica. His parachute opened up, which gave him a moment of relief, but only a moment. Just then, a huge bolt of lightning flashed behind his parachute. Lightning was now striking all around him. The thunder was so loud, it made his entire body rumble. 10 minutes had now gone by. During a normal skydive, by now, he should have parachuted safely to the ground. But he was still up in the cloud. And worse, now he was being pelted by huge drops of frozen rain, what's called hail. Some of it was the size of golf balls. Each piece of hail was hitting him it was like being punched. He was getting bruised badly. He couldn't wait to be out of this cloud. But just as soon as he'd fallen a little bit farther, a strong upwards breezing wind would push him back up into the cloud, and hail would beat him up even more. He was getting beaten up by a cloud. Finally, after what seemed to him like forever, he reached the bottom of the cloud and fell safely to the ground, where he landed in a forest. He was alive. It felt like a miracle. He looked at his watch. It read 6:40 p.m. Not only had he just become the first person to go directly through a storm cloud, but because of the violent upward blowing winds, he'd been stuck inside the storm cloud for 40 minutes. Looking back up at the sky, this is what William Rankin would have seen. He'd fallen through a type of storm cloud called a cumulonimbus cloud. They're puffy and enormously tall. They even look kind of friendly and fun. But even though William Rankin's experience of falling through a cumulonimbus cloud was incredibly rare. These clouds themselves are actually not that rare. In fact, they're one of the two most common kinds of storm clouds. And chances are that they sometimes form near where you live. What about you? What's the worst storm you ever experienced? Have you ever experienced a thunderstorm coming toward you before it arrives? What clues would you look for to know if the storm was coming your way?
Okay, so can anybody tell me what the worst thunderstorm they've ever went through? Ezekiel?
When we were driving in a car and the bolt hit the sign.
Was it close to you?
And almost popped the tire.
Oh, wow. Yes,
If that sign were when me and my family, and we were walking down the street, and I saw a big thunderstorm.
Walking down the street, huh? Was that scary?
Mm-hmm. I saw thunder, like, bang, bang, bang.
Yep. Kyler, I know you wanted to share.
We went fishing and it started like pouring badly. And when we there was this huge one that hit the water and like you could see the splash of the bolt.
In the water, huh?
Yeah.
So that was really close to you, huh?
Like it was just at the north side and I was with my uncle and my dad's cousin and my cousin. They were closer to it than I was.
Okay, so I will call in a person.
We went fishing with town like 2 hours away.
Hey, I would like everybody to listen. Gabriella is talking. She's actually teaching class right now, so you might want to listen. Sorry, Gabriella, go ahead.
When we went fishing to this town 2 hours away, we were fishing and it was about in time before we went home. And it started thunderstorming really bad and it was only like 2 miles away and we had a fishing pole. And my brother's girlfriend, he said to just let the pole, put him in the back of the trunk. We went inside and the power outage went out. It was pitch black and when we were driving home, it was thunderstorming really bad, so we just had to stay in the car for a little while.
So with those thunderstorms, hold on, please. With those thunderstorms, did you notice that if they were coming towards you or if they were moving away from you?
They were towards. They were
Coming towards you? Yeah.
coming towards us.
Sounds like it was right on top of Kyler, huh? Okay, so what clues would you look for if you were going to spot a thunderstorm? Ezekiel, are you listening? Did you have to hear my question? Jaden.
Darkening the sky.
Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else? Kyler, are you reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like clothes that have flashes in them.
Okay, yeah. Let's see if you have anything to add. Yeah. Annabelle?
Lightning.
Okay. Okay. Juan?
Clouds that are dark.
Okay, and Jaden did say the dark clouds, so that's pretty telltale sign, huh? Okay, well, let's see. Well, we can learn a little bit more here. We're gonna create a storm spotter's guide, and you need to pay close attention to the directions because he's gonna lead you through it step by step, okay? And I'm going to make one as well. So if you need any assistance, I can help.
In this activity, you're going to make a storm spotter's guide, a little book that will help you figure out when storms are heading your way. You'll notice that this book has a lot of blanks in it. We'll be filling those in together over the course of this mystery. By the time you're finished today, you'll be able to spot storms before they're raining down on you. Here's what you do, step by step. Get your supplies. When you're done with this step, click the arrow on the right.
Since we all have our supplies ready, go to the next step.
Flip over your paper and fold in half like this, so that the words are down. Look around
Are you listening?
Run your fingernail along the
like this. Everybody raise your hand when you're done, so we know when you're on. Good job. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Yeah. Done. Okay, so the next step, are we ready for the next step?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfold paper. Then fold it like this.
All right. Are you ready? Okay, this is a new step. So you unfold it, and then you're gonna fold it in half the other direction. Match up your corners again. It's gonna be a book. You got it? Ready? Good job. And if you don't get it, there is demonstration on the board. Don't forget. Okay. So you folded it in long ways, and then you folded it. Okay. You did it? Okay. Fold the paper out like this. Okay. And then you're gonna fold it in half like this. And then you're going to make a seam. Good job.
Is it right?
And your partner or neighbor might be able to help you too.
Nope, they didn't say to go that, they didn't say to go that far. It's where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, don't skip ahead because you might not know what you're doing, okay? So, everybody raise your hand when you're done, so I know that you're on. Okay?
Wait, are we just supposed to do it?
Yeah, so far, that's all you need to do. We're gonna do it step by step, okay? So we shouldn't get too confused if you follow the directions. All right? Next step. All right, everybody pay attention.
So the edge.
So, okay, it's in half, right? And do it again. So you're gonna fold it like this to the edge. So you're gonna make sure you match up your corners. See? Okay?
I think she means like
Okay.
this.
Now fold it in half the other way. Like this. Okay? Get it like this. Actually, just watch it. Okay? Get it like this. Devin, are you watching? Okay. And then you're going to take it and you're going to bend back only half to the other edge.
This is supposed to be like that. Like this.
Yep. But with the white part on the outside. See what he's doing? And then that, no. Hold on. The next clap. Good job, Jamie. And if you want to help the other girls. Okay. Oh, are you listening? You're not supposed to go past this step. And then you're going to fold the other piece over. So when you're done, it should look like this at this point in time. Does it look like mine? Your writing is on the outside. Good job, Evan. That looks supposed to be right. No, because you are not listening. You're not supposed to pass this step. Is that what mine looks like? Okay, if you pay attention to my steps and don't go past my steps, you guys will have a look. Yeah? Is that what this looks like? Yours is right. It should look like an accordion.
It should look like this.
Tyler's is right, yep.
It looks like a W if you go like this. No, it didn't.
It should look like a W when you open it. Andrea, it looks like she has it. Do you want to show her how to do it? Okay. All right, we're moving on to the next step, okay?
Sorry, do you have yours?
Unfold your paper. Okay? Okay. So this is where your scissors come in. Okay, you're only gonna cut. There's a little line right here on both sides. You're only gonna cut, watch me, okay, before you do it. You just cut right here, right down the middle,
Like this?
to the fold. Perfect. So it's gonna look like this,
Oh.
okay? Don't go past that fold.
Jaden.
Did you cut the middle?
Right
Your
here.
middle fold.
Cut up the middle.
Cut it here. Down here. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, you're gonna cut down to the line. Both sides. So you're gonna start here and you're just gonna cut. Okay, on. Okay. From here down to the line.
When they're rocket ship, they go like this.
For now, yes. Do not pass that, okay?
They're like this.
Okay.
I just made a star. I mean,
Yes.
I'm
Okay, I need everybody to sit down,
I have.
and I need everybody to listen.
I made the bucket.
Are you listening? Because we're gonna go to the next step.
Yes.
Okay, you have specials to go to, so we kinda have to work through this a little quickly. Okay, so now your flaps, you got your flaps. One flap should go one way, and the other flap should go the other way, okay?
Like
So, you have flaps.
Ivy, like, yeah.
One flap goes one way, and the other flap goes the other way.
But this is
Like chicken. No.
it's done.
It needs to be like this.
Did I do it the wrong way?
Perfect. There you go. Perfect. Look at you go.
Here, you can use mine.
Okay.
Here, I'll get. It's fine. Let me see
Okay,
it.
it should look like that right now. Okay.
Don't cut.
I got it.
Okay, I don't know why everybody's up walking around besides these girls up here to me.
One, sit.
Okay. Then you fold it.
I don't know.
Then you're gonna cut it.
They're not moving it. I know. They're not moving it. I'm gonna cut you down. You do?
Okay, so we've all done that step. Okay, pay attention. Are you guys watching? I'm not looking at any eyeballs on the board. So, one, pay attention. Hello? Are you paying attention to the board?
But they're talking. Don't do this.
Good job, Ezekiel.
I actually got it.
Okay.
I get it.
See? I told you you could do it. All right. Oh my.
This is weird.
Okay, I need everybody to pay attention.
Alexa.
This is where you're going to fill out your book, so you need to pay attention closely. We need to be watching this video.
Like these here. These are a type of cloud that doesn't cause any bad weather. You've probably seen lots of these. They're the classic clouds. The kind most people think of if you ask them to picture a cloud. These clouds kind of look like clouds of fluff, cotton. In fact, that's what they're named after. Scientists call these clouds cumulus clouds, from the Latin word pile of something, like a pile of fluff. Fluffy cumulus clouds are usually spaced apart from each other somewhat. So when you see them, there's always some blue sky around them. When you look up and see a sky that looks like this is what we call a partly cloudy day. No bad weather here. Cumulus clouds are good weather clouds. Go ahead and turn to page 1.
Page one.
Write the name of this cloud at the top. And under that, write a word that will remind you.
I'm not going back, so you all need to be paid attention.
Draw an example of a floppy cumulus cloud in a box. You don't have to draw anything fancy.
Just find page 1 and write on
I'll
it.
put the video now so you can do that.
Okay?
That's what.
Okay. Right on.
Wait, that's how it's supposed to go. Never mind, I got it. This. Wow.
Do we have to go in?
Just write the name. If you were paying attention, you'll know what exactly you need to do. Okay? All right.
Now that you've drawn a cumulus cloud, let's look at a second kind of cloud. This kind of cloud isn't very fluffy like cotton. In fact, it's more long and flat. It's spread out. Here's another example. You see how these clouds stretch across the sky? When one of these clouds is overhead, when you're underneath, they can block out the whole sky and look like this. The whole sky just looks whitish or light gray. You see no blue sky at all.
I don't get it.
This is what you'll hear people call an
I will tell you in a
sky.
second. Watch
Meaning
the
the sky is
video.
completely covered by clouds. But just because these kind of clouds block out the sun, that doesn't mean it's going to storm. These aren't storm clouds. They're just long, flat, spread out clouds that block your blue or blue sky. These clouds are called stratus, from the Latin word for spread out. They're almost like a blanket of clouds that come over each other. So let's put them in your book.
Okay.
In the booklet, turn your page over to page 3.
Page 3, not page 2.
You want page 3. Right
Okay.
at the bottom of the
It's trying to right here.
and under that, write a word that will remind you what this cloud looks like.
Supposed to do number 2. This is cumulus.
Then draw a picture of this cloud in a box.
We're not supposed to do
I'll play the
that.
video now. Just press play and continue.
Okay, so far, we need to have a cumulus cloud and the name Fluffy on the first page. And remember what the cumulus cloud looked like? It was a big, like, cotton ball.
Like this?
Yes.
She doesn't have.
So go ahead and draw your cumulus cloud real quick, okay?
Did I do it right?
It needs, yes, it needs to be just fluffy. There's no right or wrong as long as it looks fluffy.
How do you spell it? Cumulus.
C-U-M,
C-U-M-U-S.
Okay, I'm gonna draw your cloud.
C-U-M-U-L-U-S.
This one's more spread out. It's got kind of there
U-S.
we go.
Okay, the orange one, right?
Is this not what it looks like?
Okay, what about the stratus cloud? We can finish next week if we need to.
Okay.
I know you're, I had a feeling that I was gonna go over.
Mm-hmm.
My time management skills aren't as good as yours.
Get it
Okay,
over.
we're gonna finish page 3 and then we're gonna quit for today, I think. So, on page 3, I want you to write stratus cloud, okay?
Print.
Page 3.
Yeah, 3. What she said.
Yes.
Page 400.
You're right. We haven't done page 2 yet.
Do you have what you need to on your paper? On page 3, I need you to write stratus cloud and then a way to remind yourself of what it looks like. So they wrote spread out because it's a spread out cloud. It's not just one big fluff like the cumulus. Well, we're going to do page 2 here in a little bit, or actually next week. But that's why you have to pay real close to directions, okay? Because he did say page 3. Okay.
I drew it.
And then this is what it should look like so far, okay? You should have a fluffy cloud. It says cumulus and then fluffy below it.
Just like this.
That's the stratus one. That's what the stratus should look like. You did good.
This. Today.
Yep. And then my stratus cloud kind of looks like that. So it's kind of spread out and not so fluffy looking. I thought. Thank you. Well, we're not done yet. We're like halfway done, so. Is that your stratus?
Is it like this?
Uh-huh.
When can we take this home?
When, next week when you get it done. So I need everybody's name and date on the front, and then I'm gonna have you bring it to me so I can hold on to them for you, okay?
Mine is done. I have my name and date already on it. But what happens if the bed's already stormed?